We get to start a new chapter today in Merging with Śiva, chapter 41, entitled Spinning Wheels of Consciousness, from the 1967 and 1970 Master Course, plus upadeshas given at Kauai, Adinam, July, August 1989. Lesson 281, 14 regions of consciousness. Hindu scriptures speak of 3 worlds, 14 worlds, and countless worlds. These are different ways to describe Shiva's infinite creation. Of the 14 worlds, 7 are counted as rising above the earth and 7 as descending below it. Correspondingly, there were 14 great nerve centers in the physical body, in the astral body, and in the body of the soul. These centers are called chakras in Sanskrit, which means wheels. These spinning vortices of energy are actually regions of mind power, each one governing certain aspects of the inner man, and together they are the subtle components of people. When inwardly perceived, they are vividly colorful and can be heard. In fact, they are quite noisy. Since color, sound, and energy are all the same thing in the inner realms. When awareness flows through any one or more of these regions, the various functions of consciousness operate, such as the functions of memory, reason, and willpower. There are 6 chakras above the Muladar chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. When awareness is flowing through these chakras, consciousness is in the higher nature. There are 7 chakras below the Muladhara chakra, and when awareness is flowing through them, consciousness is in the lower nature. In this Kali Yuga, most people live in the consciousness of the 7 force centers below the Muladhara chakra. Their beliefs and attitudes strongly reflect the animal nature, the instinctive mind. We want to lift our own consciousness and that of others into the chakras above the Muladhara. This brings the mind out of the lower nature into the higher nature. We do this through personal sadhana, prayer, meditation, right thoughts, speech, and action, and love for Lord Shiva, who is all in all. Then we get my commentary. In the Tamil language, chakra is adaram, which the lexicon says means support, stay, or prop. And the interesting point is, in the Tamil system, there's only 6. So the 6 adaras get grouped, 6 rather than 7. So when you have 6 adaram, aradaram means 6 adaras. The Sarasvara, or 7th chakra, has a number of terms in Tamil. One of them used in the Tirumandaram is Chandramandalam, the moon's sphere or region. In his song, the Yoga Path, Yogaswami calls the 7th chakra the silver step. The 6 steps, first you must traverse. That's the translation of Adaram. Then will come the silver step. If you surmount that too, my treasure, who will be your equal? Then we get the Shum. Shum language for chakra, as we know, is Kam Shumalinga. Quite a lengthy definition. Any of the chakras which are nerve plexus or centers of force and consciousness within the inner bodies of man refers to all 21 chakras, the 7 principal chakras, the 7 chakras or nadis above the crown of the head, and the 7 chakras below the Muladhara. Through transmutation, one unfolds through the 7 principal Kamshumalinga Ma as awareness and Kundalini break the seals of these 4 centers. The Kamshumalinga Ma may also be understood as windows of mind or consciousness, through which awareness looks out or in on the phenomenal world. Each window has its own influence and coloring effect on the process of perception. I like that, coloring effect. And back to the text. The Muladhara chakra, the divine seat of Lord Ganesha, is a dividing point between the lower nature and the higher nature. It is the beginning of religion for everyone. Entered when consciousness arrives out of the realms below Lord Ganesha's holy feet. The physical body has a connection to each of the 7 higher chakras through plexus of nerves along the spinal cord and in the cranium. As the Kundalini force of awareness travels along the spine, it enters each of these chakras, energizing them and awakening in turn each function. In any one lifetime, man may be predominantly aware in 2 or 3 centers, thus setting the pattern for the way he thinks and lives. He develops a comprehension of these 7 regions in a natural sequence, the perfection of one leading logically to the next. Thus, though he may not be psychically seeing spinning forces within himself, man nevertheless matures through memory, reason, willpower, cognition, universal love, divine sight, and spiritual illumination. It may help, as we examine each of these centers individually, to visualize man as a 7-storied building, with each story being one of the chakras. Awareness travels up and down in the elevator, and as it goes higher and higher, it gains a progressively broader, more comprehensive and beautiful vista. Reaching the top floor, it views the panorama below with total understanding, not only of the landscape below, but also of the relation of the building to other buildings and of each floor to the next. In Sanatana Dharma, another analogy is used to portray the chakras, that of a lotus flower. This flower grows in lakes and ponds, taking root in the slimy mud below the surface where no light penetrates. Its stem grows upward toward the light until it breaks the surface into fresh air and sunshine. The energy of the sun then feeds the bud and leaves until the delicate lotus blossom opens. The first chakra is called the root chakra, Muladhara. Awareness takes root in the baser instincts of human experience and then travels through the waters of the intellect, becoming more and more refined as it evolves until it finally bursts into the light of the superconscious mind, where it spiritually flowers into the 1008-petaled lotus chakra at the top of the head. By examining the functions of these 7 great force centers, we can clearly cognize our own position on the spiritual path and better understand our fellow man. Then we get lesson 282, Muladhara, the realm of memory. The chakras do not awaken. They are already awakened in everyone. It only seems as if they awaken as we become aware of flowing our energy through them, because energy, willpower, and awareness are one and the same thing. To become conscious of the core of energy itself, all we have to do is detach awareness from the realms of reason, memory, and aggressive intellectual will. Then, turning inward, we move from one chakra to another. Physical body changes as these more refined energies flow through it, and the inner nerve system, called nadis, inwardly becomes stronger and stronger. The Muladhara chakra is the memory center located at the base of the spine and is physically associated with the sacral or pelvic nerve plexus. Mula means root and adhara means support. Same definition as in the Tamil lexicon, support. So this is called the root chakra. Its color is red. It governs the realms of time and memory, creating a consciousness of time through the powers of memory. Whenever we go back in our memory patterns, we are using the forces of the Muladhara. This chakra is associated also with human qualities of individuality, egoism, materialism, and dominance. Man lives mostly in this chakra during the first 7 years of life. This center has 4 petals or aspects, one of which governs memories of past lives. The other 3 contain the compiled memory patterns and interrelated karmas of this life. When this chakra is developed, people are able to travel on the astral plane. It is complete within itself, but when the first 2 chakras are charged with gross instinctive impulses and developed through Western education, with its values and foibles which contradict Hindu Dharma, they can create together a very strong odic force which, when propelled by the worldly will of the 3rd chakra toward outer success and power, can dominate the mind and make it nearly impossible for awareness to function in the higher force centers. So great is the material magnetism. That's quite a long sentence. Men living fully in these lower 3 chakras, therefore, say that God is above them, not knowing that above is their own head, and they are living below near the base of the spine. You have seen many people living totally in the past. It's their only reality. They are always reminiscing. When I was a boy, we used to. Why, I remember when. It wasn't like this a few years ago. On and on they go, living a recollected personal history and usually unaware that they have a present to be enjoyed and a future to be created. On and on they go, giving their life force energies to the task of perpetuating the past. The Muladhara forces are not negative forces. Used and governed positively by the higher centers, the powers of time, memory, and sex are transmuted into the very fuel that propels awareness along the spinal climb and into the head. Similarly, the mature lotus blossom cannot in wisdom criticize the muddy roots far below which, after all, sustain its very life. Then we get the Shum for Muladhara Chakra, a Kailisimbi. So if you're not familiar with these definitions in the Shum lexicon, they contain a lot of information compressed into a small definition. The first of the primary chakras, named Muladhara in Sanskrit. Attribute, memory, time, space. Located at the base of the spine. Color red, planet Mercury. Element earth, sense, smell. Petals, 4. Panchakshara mantra letter, Na. The pranayama associated with this chakra is to breathe in 2 short breaths through the nose and out 2 short breaths through the mouth. This can be done in preparation for the meditation or also while walking fast and swinging the arms. And back to the text. The center of man's reasoning faculties lies in the 2nd, or hypogastric plexus below the navel. It is termed Swadhisthana, which in Sanskrit means one's own place. Its color is reddish-orange. Once the ability to remember has been established, the natural consequence is reason. And from reason evolves the intellect. Reason and intellect work through this chakra. We open naturally into this chakra between the ages of 7 and 13, when we want to know why the sky is blue and the whys of everything. If very little memory exists, very little intellect is present. In other words, reason is the manipulation of memorized information. We categorize it, edit it, rearrange it, and store the results. That is the essence of the limited capacity of reason. Therefore, this center controls the Muladhara, and in fact, each progressively higher center controls all preceding centers. That is the law. In thinking, solving problems, analyzing people or situations, we are functioning in the domain of Swadhisthana. This center has 6 petals or aspects and can therefore express itself in 6 distinct ways: diplomacy, sensitivity, cleverness, doubt, anxiety, and procrastination. These aspects of persona would seem very real to people living predominantly in this chakra. They would research, explore, and wonder, why? They would propose theories and then formulate reasonable explanations. They would form a rigid intellectual mind based on opinionated knowledge and accumulated memory reinforced by habit patterns of the instinctive mind. Then we get in Shum, Swadhisthana is Ratnam Chevu, the second chakra, named Swadhisthana in Sanskrit. Attribute, reason, located at the navel. Color, reddish-orange. Planet Venus, element water. Sense, taste. Petal 6, Panchakshara mantra letter Ma. Oh, thank you very much. A wonderful day.